The UK is home to countless mysterious places where history and the supernatural collide. Join us as we explore 13 real haunted locations, each with eerie legends and ghostly tales that still linger. 1. Blair Street Vaults. The Blair Street Vaults, located beneath Edinburgh's Royal Mile, are steeped in mystery and have been the subject of numerous ghost stories. Originally built in the 19th century, these vaults were used as storage spaces for merchants and later became a haven for criminals, the destitute, and the homeless. As time passed, the vaults became notorious for their dark and sinister atmosphere. Over the years, many people have claimed to experience strange phenomena here, including ghostly apparitions, eerie sounds, and inexplicable cold spots. One of the most commonly reported figures is a woman dressed in a long grey gown, often seen wandering the vaults, known as the Grey Lady. The Grey Lady is believed to have been a victim of foul play, and her spirit is said to be restless, still searching for answers. Visitors to the vaults often feel an unsettling presence, with some reporting the sensation of being followed. Strange noises, like footsteps or whispering voices, have been heard echoing through the cold, empty vaults. People have also described seeing flickering lights and shadows moving unexpectedly. The Blair Street Vaults remain one of Edinburgh's most popular paranormal locations, attracting ghost hunters and thrill seekers alike. Despite the darkness and terror that linger within, many visitors are captivated by the vault's haunted atmosphere and long-standing history of ghostly encounters. 2. Dashwood Mausoleum. Nestled within the grounds of St. Lawrence Church in West Wycombe, the Dashwood Mausoleum is a chilling reminder of the family's tragic past. Built in the 18th century by Sir Francis Dashwood, the mausoleum is the final resting place of several members of the Dashwood family. The story of the Dashwood family is filled with mystery and intrigue, and it's believed that their tragic fates have left lingering spirits within the mausoleum. Over the years, many visitors to this eerie site have reported disturbing experiences, including the sensation of being watched and feelings of unease that become more intense as they approach the mausoleum. One of the most chilling stories comes from a visitor who claimed to have seen a shadowy figure standing near the mausoleum's entrance, only for it to vanish when they attempted to get a closer look. Another chilling account describes hearing a woman's voice whispering from within the mausoleum, though no one else was around at the time. Some have even reported hearing the sound of footsteps in the surrounding area, though the grounds are usually silent. The Dashwood Mausoleum remains an enduring symbol of the eerie and tragic history of the Dashwood family, whose spirits are said to continue haunting the site. Its atmosphere is thick with sorrow, and many who visit report leaving with a lingering feeling of sadness, as though the spirits are never quite at peace. 3. Arnos Vale. Cemetery Arnos Vale Cemetery, located in Bristol, is a sprawling Victorian burial ground that has long been a site of fascination for both history enthusiasts and those interested in the paranormal. Opened in the early 19th century, the cemetery contains over 100,000 graves and is home to several historically significant monuments. Despite its serene appearance, Arnos Vale Cemetery has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Bristol. Many visitors report seeing ghostly figures moving among the tombstones, while others hear disembodied voices or experience sudden cold spots that send shivers down their spines. The most famous ghost of Arnos Vale is that of a woman dressed in black, often seen standing by an old grave. Some believe she is a mourning widow, while others think she is the spirit of someone who was buried there long ago. Visitors also report feeling an eerie sense of being followed, and some describe hearing footsteps behind them in the stillness of the cemetery. The combination of its rich history, tragic deaths, and strange occurrences make Arnos Vale Cemetery a truly unsettling place. As the sun sets, the cemetery becomes even more eerie, with its Victorian monuments casting long shadows over the graves. The lingering spirits seem to awaken as darkness falls, turning the peaceful graveyard into an unsettling, haunting ground. 4. Itam Moat. Itam Moat is a stunning medieval manor house located in Kent, dating back to the 14th century. While the house is a beautiful example of English architecture, it is also home to a dark and mysterious history. The house has been the site of several ghostly encounters, with reports of unexplained sounds, moving objects, and eerie apparitions. The most frequently reported ghost is that of a woman dressed in a long, flowing gown, seen wandering through the hallways of the manor. Her identity remains a mystery, but many believe she is the spirit of a former resident who met a tragic and untimely death. In addition to the ghostly sightings, visitors have reported strange occurrences, such as objects moving on their own, including chairs and curtains. Some guests have also described hearing the sound of footsteps in empty rooms or the faint sound of a piano playing when no one is present. The air in Itam Moat often feels thick with an eerie presence, and those who visit claim that it's impossible to shake the feeling of being watched. Despite the manor's beautiful exterior, the ghostly events that have been reported make it one of the most haunted locations in Kent. The spirits seem to remain trapped within its walls, and their restless energies have left an indelible mark on the house's history. 5. The Spanish Barn. The Spanish Barn at Torre Abbey is one of the most haunted locations in Torquay, with a history that dates back to the 16th century. The barn was used as a holding place for Spanish prisoners captured during the Anglo-Spanish War. These prisoners were kept in harsh conditions, and many of them died from disease and malnutrition. It is believed that the restless spirits of these prisoners still haunt the barn to this day, with reports of ghostly figures and unexplained noises being common. Visitors to the Spanish Barn often report hearing the sound of chains clinking, the echo of footsteps in the otherwise empty barn, and the feeling of being watched. Some have claimed to see shadowy figures lurking in the corners of the barn, while others have experienced sudden drops in temperature. One of the most famous ghostly encounters involves a sailor who is said to haunt the barn in the form of a spectral figure. His apparition is often seen wandering the barn, his tattered uniform a reminder of his tragic fate. Despite the barn's peaceful exterior today, the dark history of its past continues to haunt it, making it a must-visit for ghost hunters and thrill-seekers. The oppressive atmosphere within the barn creates a sense of foreboding, as though the past is unwilling to be forgotten. The Puddle Martyrs Tree. The Puddle Martyrs Tree in Dorset stands as a symbol of the fight for workers' rights and the tragic story of the Puddle Martyrs, a group of 6 men who were arrested in 1834 for forming a trade union to demand better wages and working conditions. The men were sentenced to transportation to Australia, and their fate sparked widespread outrage. Today, the tree stands in their memory, but it is also believed to be the site of supernatural activity, as many visitors claim to have felt a deep sense of sadness and anger when standing near the tree. Ghostly sightings are common, with many reporting the sight of shadowy figures moving between the gravestones. Some visitors describe hearing whispers carried on the wind, as though the spirits of the martyrs are trying to communicate their pain. Others report feeling an oppressive weight in the air, as if the spirits of the past are watching and waiting for justice. The Puddle Martyrs tree remains an enduring reminder of the sacrifices made for workers' rights, as well as a haunted place where the spirits of the past linger. The tree itself seems to carry an aura of sorrow, as if the spirits of the martyrs still seek the justice they were denied in life. 7. West Horsley Place. West Horsley Place, a stunning 15th century manor house in Surrey, England, has long been associated with haunting tales and paranormal activity. Its deep-rooted history is woven with tragic events, including the death of Lady Shirley, a former resident who is said to have never truly left. Over the years, numerous reports of eerie occurrences have surfaced from both visitors and staff. Ghostly apparitions have been seen wandering the hallways, and inexplicable noises such as the sound of footsteps, doors creaking, and muffled voices are often heard, even in the dead of night, when no one else is around. The most famous of these apparitions is that of Lady Shirley, whose figure has been spotted in the manor's gardens, dressed in a flowing gown. Witnesses describe her as being somewhat translucent, her figure flickering in and out of sight. She is also said to appear in the ballroom, gliding gracefully across the floor, as if still holding on to the grandeur of her past. Guests and staff members have reported an overwhelming sense of sadness and coldness in specific areas of the house, particularly near Lady Shirley's former chambers. In addition to these sightings, some visitors have claimed to have felt an invisible presence, as though someone is standing close by, but when they turn around, no one is there. The overwhelming feeling that someone or something is watching you creates an unnerving atmosphere, making West Horsley Place one of the most haunted locations in Surrey. 8. Chiselhurst Caves. Chiselhurst Caves, located in Chiselhurst, Kent, are a labyrinth of man-made tunnels that stretch for miles underground. These caves have a long and fascinating history, from their use as chalk mines to their role as a shelter during World War II. However, they are most famous for their ghostly activity, with countless reports of paranormal encounters over the years. The caves, which were originally carved out for mining, are now believed to be haunted by the spirits of those who worked there and by others who met untimely deaths within its dark tunnels. One of the most well-known ghostly figures is that of a young girl, seen in the deeper sections of the caves. Visitors have reported hearing her soft, disembodied voice echoing through the tunnels, asking for help or calling out to someone. Others have seen her apparition, a pale, faint figure with long, dark hair, wandering through the caves. In addition to the spectral girl, there are accounts of a heavy, oppressive feeling in the air, making it difficult to breathe, and many have experienced sudden drops in temperature. The narrow, winding tunnels only add to the sense of claustrophobia and fear that seems to pervade the caves. For anyone brave enough to explore, Chiselhurst Caves offer a chilling experience, one that often ends with a sense of unease and the lingering feeling of being followed long after they leave the dark, twisting corridors behind. 9. Sign of the Angel. The Sign of the Angel is a quaint, historical pub located in the heart of London, and it has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the city. The building, which dates back to the 17th century, has witnessed its fair share of both history and tragedy. Visitors to this atmospheric pub often report strange happenings, including flickering lights, the sound of footsteps echoing through empty rooms, and unexplained cold spots. The pub's eerie reputation is largely due to the presence of a long-dead ghost, believed to be a former owner or perhaps a lost soul who met an untimely demise on the property. One of the most frequently reported occurrences is the appearance of a shadowy figure who seems to move through the pub at night. Some claim to have seen the figure in the corner of their eye, only for it to disappear when they turn around. Others have experienced an unsettling feeling of being watched while sitting alone at the bar. There have also been reports of glasses being mysteriously moved, as if someone is gently pushing them, and the sound of whispers in the air when no one is nearby. The pub's dark, intimate setting only adds to the haunting atmosphere, making it a popular yet unnerving stop for those seeking both a drink and a brush with the supernatural. While many come to enjoy the history and charm of the pub, some leave with an eerie sense of having encountered something from another time, something that still lingers in the shadows. 10. London Road Depot. The London Road Depot in Gloucester is a former transport and storage facility that has earned a chilling reputation for paranormal activity. Dating back to the 19th century, the depot was used to store goods and served as a transport hub during the Industrial Revolution. However, it is its haunting reputation that draws attention today. The eerie occurrences reported here include strange noises, sudden temperature drops, and the distinct feeling of being followed through the dark and empty spaces of the depot. Many of the spirits believed to haunt the depot are thought to be former workers who met tragic fates, while others believe that there may be lingering souls from the past, trapped by the ghosts of history. Witnesses have claimed to see shadows moving along the walls of the depot, flickering in and out of view, as if walking past unseen. One of the most unsettling reports is that of a cold, skeletal hand that seemed to reach out from one of the storage crates. The depot is also infamous for its unexplained loud bangs, which have caused more than one visitor to jump out of their skin. The building's dim lighting and echoing emptiness add to its chilling aura, and it's easy to see why the London Road Depot has become a hotspot for ghost hunters looking to encounter something otherworldly. Even the bravest dare not linger too long in this place, as it feels as though something or someone is always just out of sight, waiting in the shadows. 11. The Running Horse. The Running Horse is a historic pub in Hampton, London, that dates back to the 17th century. Like many ancient pubs in the UK, it has a reputation for being haunted, and it's no wonder why. Over the years, numerous patrons and staff have reported strange and inexplicable occurrences. One of the most famous spirits is that of a former landlord who is said to have died under mysterious circumstances. His ghost is believed to haunt the pub, often appearing as a shadowy figure who roams the halls and kitchen late at night. Several staff members have claimed to see the ghost of the landlord standing by the bar, only for him to vanish when they approach. In addition to this apparition, visitors often report a strange coldness in certain areas of the pub, especially near the fireplace or in the stairwell. One account tells of a woman who was sitting alone in the pub's lounge area when she suddenly felt a cold breeze rush past her and the door slammed shut behind her. Other guests have heard whispers or footsteps when no one else was present, adding to the pub's ghostly reputation. Despite the eerie events that occur, the Running Horse continues to be a popular spot for locals and tourists alike. The combination of its rich history, haunting atmosphere, and paranormal activity makes it one of the most haunted pubs in the UK, with a sense of the past always lingering in the air. 12. Godsto Abbey. Godsto Abbey, located just outside of Oxford, is a stunning yet eerie ruin that is steeped in history and supernatural lore. Founded in the 12th century, the abbey was once home to a group of nuns who are said to have led peaceful lives. However, the abbey's history was marred by tragedy when one of its nuns, who had fallen in love with a local nobleman, was allegedly murdered in the abbey grounds. It's believed that her restless spirit haunts the ruins, with reports of ghostly figures and strange occurrences plaguing visitors to this day. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a visitor who claimed to have seen a pale figure in white standing at the edge of the ruins, staring out over the river. Others have described hearing a woman's voice, whispering softly from the direction of the abbey's crumbling walls. The ruins, with their dilapidated arches and empty halls, add to the ghostly atmosphere, as if the abbey's tragic past is still very much alive. Visitors report a heavy silence that hangs in the air, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the sound of distant footsteps. Despite the beauty of the setting, there's a persistent feeling that the abbey's past still lingers, and the spirits of those who once lived here are never far away. 13. Bellisnap Long Barrow. Bellisnap Long Barrow, an ancient Neolithic burial site located in Gloucestershire, is one of the UK's most iconic and haunted locations. The Long Barrow, believed to have been constructed around 5,000 years ago, has long been a site of interest for archaeologists and ghost hunters alike. The site consists of a series of chambers, many of which still contain human remains. It's thought that these ancient souls never fully left the barrow, and the spirits of the dead are said to wander the site, especially at night. Many visitors to Bellisnap have reported strange occurrences, including an overwhelming sense of dread, the sound of whispers in the wind, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. One of the most common ghostly sightings is that of a dark figure, often seen near the entrance of the barrow. Some believe this to be the spirit of a warrior, guarding the sacred site for eternity. Others have reported hearing the sound of footsteps echoing in the chambers, despite being alone in the barrow. The air inside the Long Barrow is often described as being unnaturally cold, and many visitors feel a pressure on their chest, as though the spirits are trying to communicate. The dim light that filters through the trees adds to the haunting atmosphere, and many have claimed that the site feels otherworldly, as though it exists in a liminal space between the living and the dead. It's a place that draws the curious and the brave, but also leaves them with a lingering sense of unease that stays long after they've left the ancient burial site. If you enjoyed this eerie journey, make sure to subscribe to Creepy Experience for more. Share this with your friends who love a good ghost story, and let us know your favorite haunted place in the comments.